And we are happy that from such an institution, we are hosting an impact lecture series. We have seven UG courses and three PG courses. We also have around 500 research publications and patent submissions, numerous funded projects. Our institutions have Institution Innovation Council and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, under the aegis of which we are commencing this lecture series to bring awareness to our students. And the series is called as Impact Lecture Series. The first one, for which our esteemed guest of the day, Mr. Naveen Lakur, is the speaker. This session is also sponsored by MOE's Innovation Cell of AICTE. I'm happy to be telling this, and I feel privileged to be welcoming Mr. Naveen Lakur to the session. Before moving forward, I would like to introduce you all a bit to Mr. Naveen Lakur's work or thinking, thoughts. He is a man of great achievements. At present, Mr. Naveen Lakur is Chief Innovation Coach at Institute of Inspiring Innovation, Bangalore. The wordings itself will bring us a sort of inspiration. He has been heading this institute since September 2017. It is a competency development for innovation, entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship. He was also co-founder and director for Values Centered Innovation Enablement Services Private Limited from April 2010 to September 2017. He has been also a co-founder and a director at Composites Software Solutions. He has also been a CEO director before this for a startup accelerator program. He was a venture advisor for Unitas Seed Fund. All this, oh my God, it is such a big list, such a big list. He still has a very big list. So we can know by this, he is a serial kind of entrepreneur also, and he has all the kind of experience, expertise to be guiding our students as on on developing our ED cell as well as institution council. We are happy to be having you amongst us, sir. We welcome you warmly. Uh, and I also welcome our Professor Ranjan Manish, who is HOD I4 and Alumni Relations, the inspiring mind behind this occasion. I welcome Professor Balaji, coordinator for our IIC of NCET. I welcome Professor Geetanjali, who is HOD of MBA as well as ED cell of the college. I thank and welcome our management, our principal Dr. Mungara, IQAC Dean Dr. Mohan Kumar, uh, Dean R&D Dr. Muthukumar, all the HODs, faculty members, and especially students for whom this particular lecture session has been organized to make them aware of the kind of opportunities that is available in the outside world, because this is a time when there is a lot of confusions among our present generation as to what to do next, especially during COVID, after COVID, many have this confusion whether to continue the studies. And if they want to continue the studies, they have this question of new education policy and such kind of things, what not to do, what will be changed, what not, what will not be changed. And many of our students have actually have not seen literally the light of the day, because they have never come out during this COVID. It is like they have become disengaged. And in this condition, those who are in the final year, they have a big question mark in front of them. What next? Should we continue our studies? Should we go for a job? If we are to go for a job, whether we will be able to get a good one, how we are going to face the business world. So these are the kind of questions that I have. But there is somewhere this thought that this particular Gen Z needs to be innovative, they have to be adaptive, and they should be having a mindset of entrepreneurial thinking, and they need to create opportunities for themselves as well as the others. And this is the thinking of our IIC, probably anywhere in the world. IICs and EDCL put together will be thinking on this line only. And that is the reason we have organized this Impact Lecture series. And the first topic is innovation, a little extra mindset for youngsters. A beautiful topic. And over to you, sir, Mr. Naveen Lakur.
Thank you so much for your warm welcome and an introduction. Quick check, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So nice to meet you all, the youngsters, and I'm happy that you're open and interested to listen to what is this innovation, a little extra mindset for youngsters, right? Are you all interested and excited? Yes, if it is, why don't you type in I that you are interested? Type in I. Let me see how many of you are interested. At the same time, this is also a quick check whether I'm able to communicate to you. You are able to hear me well. Let me see. Yes, I see people typing in I. That means you are very interested and wanting to hear me out on this topic, right? Yeah, let it come. In the meantime, can you please help me? I've joined in two systems. There is another system where it will show you my name. Can you provide access for me to share my screen? Can you please provide access for me to share the screen?
Yes, sir.
You'll see my name in one more as one more participant. For that, you'll have to allow me to share. While I'm getting the access, in the meantime, how many of you? Yeah, it's still not provided. I still don't have access. It says only the host can share in this meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You have been given that. Ma'am, your voice is, uh, yes. Sir, you are the host now, sir.
No, I see.
Uh,
I need access on the
sir,
other system, which I've shared as where I plan to share the screen. There is. Hello.
sir, you are the host now.
Sir, just a second. Periswami.
Ma'am, sir,
Sir,
now
so there is.
you, sir, now you are
There
able
is.
to share the screen, sir.
I was saying, I
There
I've
is
joined
one more.
into systems.
Yes,
They
there
want
is
Periswami
one
is
more
there.
here.
Swami Babu.
sharing.
Yes. Peரியaswamy,
Now,
there
Yes,
is
both the.
one more here where he is just seen as a participant.
okay.
Please give a connection to that. Like, please make him, yes. One more, he see here it is. Just as a participant, he is there. Please make
Okay.
him host there.
1 minute, ma'am.
Okay.
Will you
Yes.
be able to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you made me host, will you be able to do that? Because I have to maybe transfer the. Okay. Okay. I think I'll go ahead and use this system. So it would have helped in terms of the usage, the coordination would have been very useful.
Peரியaswamy ಅವರು
Sir, we will just get it done. You can just go ahead, sir. Just give us a minute.
Okay, I'm going to start with another system itself, where I won't be able to see any of you, but then let me go ahead. Are you able to see me and the screen? I'm sharing.
Sir, we can see you also. We are able to see your presentation also, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, here I am to talk about innovation, a little extra mindset. Okay, what is this mindset and what is this session about? So I'm going to be actually talking and covering three things. One, a little extra mindset, and two, some of my personal experiences, and three, I'll share some insights. And you could also be participating in this and sharing some insights that you get out of it, right? Are you all game? So if you are, then why don't you say I? You're ready to share some insights? Say I. Type in I. I just get to see that you are here and able to participate. Will you share some insights? Okay. Okay, so that's the format that we will follow now. Okay, and then what we will do is I would like to introduce, while I got introduced, let me introduce you to this book, A Little Extra, that I've authored. And while I've authored several books, this is one of those, book with the quotes, which has the distinctions between ordinary and extraordinary. And there is a character by name Zo. His name is Exo, and people say that, he is an extraordinary person. His friends say that, he's got that X factor. He started thinking and wondering, what is this X factor all about? Then he realized that it's about being that little extra in all aspects of life. That's the genesis. And he also realizes, after all, it's that little extra in the correct place makes ordinary extraordinary, right? And he also feels that, everybody has that potential and want to experience the X factor, they can. And if you are interested and excited to know about Zo's journey of innovation and entrepreneurship, so say triple I. Are you interested? Yes. Shirisha says yes. And anybody else? Okay, Mani, Mona. Good, go ahead. Vinay, Saundarya, Shashmit. Now the fastest finger first, right? So you'll have to be fast. Oh, there are many eyes coming. In Vinod, there's like a little extra already, right? So if we are interested, then I have a question. Okay, this is what is the Zo's situation, where you talking good about others is ordinary. You talking good about others is ordinary. Others talking good about you is extraordinary. He's an entrepreneur, he's an innovator, then he's got that mindset. What do you think would make people to talk good about him? When does it happen? Of course, I have to give a disclaimer here. Ordinary doesn't mean bad, okay? So you talking good about others itself is very good. So if just imagine you talking bad about others, that's not even ordinary, right? So others talking good about you is extraordinary because there has to be something more, something a little extra that should have been there, and because of which others are talking good. So tell us, what is that a little extra could be? Type in, or somebody wants to come onto the screen and speak, you're welcome. So what do you think is that little extra which should have been there, making others talk good about it? Anybody? Mind you, he's an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, he's an innovator, and innovation is the name of the game. He understands that no innovation, entrepreneurship, hard to sustain and survive, right? So what do you think are the qualities that he would have demonstrated that people are speaking good about him? He applied knowledge that he learned. Fantastic. He did it differently. Very good. What else? Pawan, good job. More. Edil mange more. Come on, guys. New innovations and ideas. Shirisha sends that. You can put it in the public forum so that, share those thoughts. Let everybody gain out of it. Go ahead and share those thoughts. What do you think? He did impossible thing to be possible. Very good. He came out of the crowd. Very nice. In fact, I'm able to relate to all of these qualities that you're talking about. For just the day before yesterday, it was a big milestone, right? You all would have got to hear or read about Girish Mathrubootham from Chennai, where, he used to work in Zoho earlier. And then he realized that how the quality of the customer support was broken or probably not up to the standard, yes, of Freshwork, right? So that's when Girish Mathrubootham and a couple of his friends, colleagues, then decided that they should create something which is going to help companies, the small companies and so on. So to create a good, help desk. So that's how they started with Freshdesk. And later, when everybody said, why do you need such a kind of a thing, and it doesn't work, all that, they persuaded, they continued, they put the hard work, and then there was some support coming in. It became Freshworks, and such that it could bring that freshness into the workplace, and went beyond even the just the support system or the help desk. So from there on, it went on to even cater to companies outside. It became innovative model of using technology and created a SaaS model, right? Software as a service. So that's again one side technology innovation, the other side the business model innovation, and they were able to penetrate into many companies and gave a run for money for even large companies. At the same time, went global, and then in less than 10 years, now they are listed. Okay, went IPO, and with so I see that some data coming in here. Pawan says it's $13 billion worth now, right? They recently, 2 days ago, they raised $1 billion in their IPO, ringing the bell at the Nasdaq. And he's a big fan of Rajnikant, right? Girish Mathrubootham. So big fan of Rajnikant, and some of it is that little extra what Rajnikant does has been an inspiration to Girish Mathrubootham and team, and they built a great culture, fantastic team, and grown. So it's an example of the innovation which could have, which they were frugal initially, and they used technology very well, and now the way the artificial intelligence and the machine learning has all been implemented so well, from productivity improvement, the functioning of an office, is a fantastic milestone, right? So others are talking good about him. So what do you think? Have you heard? How many of you have heard of Freshworks as a company? Say I. Say I. Have you heard of Freshworks as a company? Good. I see at least few coming now. Very nice. How many of you have heard of Girish Mathrubootham as an entrepreneur? Okay, say if you have heard about Girish as an entrepreneur, say I. And if you have, if his innovations has inspired you, say triple I. I. If his innovations has inspired you. Has anybody who can recognize his innovation, which is inspired, said I. Why do you think the SaaS as a model, innovation in the technology that they could use, how did it help? Anybody who wants to share or type in or come over to the screen and share as to what are the advantages of bringing that SaaS as a business model, right? So software as a service as a model. Anybody else? Any of you would have an example of another SaaS as the innovation model being used? SaaS model being used to scale company? Yeah. Okay. So everybody have got into that mindset of thinking, looks like gone deep. Okay. So let me see if I could share some more stories, a little extra stories. And these are supposed to be morning stories, okay, which will necessarily get you to think rather and not to get you to sleep, right? So with that hope, I'm moving into another shot of inspiration and shot for innovation mindset, a little extra shot. Okay, external engineering is ordinary. Inner engineering is extraordinary. You'd be wondering, I myself, I'm an engineer by profession and by my education, and then been in the software industry and built technology products. But why am I saying that external engineering is ordinary? Inner engineering is extraordinary. One, definitely inner engineering is a lot to do with the mindset, right? So while the external engineering is the external aspect, it's a lot easier to deal with it. It's much harder to deal with the inner sense of it, right? I understood this, and one entrepreneur I would like to talk about is by name Muralidhar Somisetti. So fantastic person, and he used to be a geek working in Cisco and long hours, getting deep into things, great engineer. He loves new technology. He used to work like crazy. He was a workaholic and non-alcoholic, but workaholic. So one day he realized that, his bad posture or something like that, whatever was the issue, he started developing back pain and had that strain in his neck, and he had trouble. So then he started to consult with doctors, met many doctors, and they checked and they said, you know what, you need a surgery. So he was very uncomfortable to go through a surgery. And then he tried figuring out, and then he came across a yoga program where a therapy, and he went through the therapy where he was treated without having to go through any surgeries. Then he realized the power of this yoga. And what he did, he said, let me, if it is so powerful, let me help teach this to others. He became a yoga teacher as much as he was an engineer. And he started even teaching yoga to others. Now that he is personally a beneficiary of the power of yoga and the inner healing and the way that he could manage his inner self, right? So after a lot of sessions that he was able to teach and so on, he said, man, I think a lot of people do need it, even in the Western world, and they don't have access. They don't have that many gurus. They don't have teachers. Why not use technology and create something, that engineering mind that he had? So he bought in and created a yoga mat called Yogify, right? He's an entrepreneur now, and they created a yoga mat which is made out of this regular yoga mats that you would find, but with a little extra device connecting to it, and with the mobile phone or a tab, you are able to sync up, and it starts guiding you. It starts telling you, and with the heat maps, artificial intelligence again, very active. It's able to even help the teachers who are teaching yoga to guide their students. And this became an award-winning innovation. And also NASA recognized for the innovation that has happened. And here is something which is an ancient wisdom packaged and delivered through the modern technology, right? The innovation of helping the product innovation which has happened is to help those people who want to, have that wellness in their life, right? And and it is so cool and cute that and it's an in thing. And Google in the US said, we want to roll this out for all our employees, and they rolled it out to try it with their employees to bring that well-being for everyone and so on. So isn't it cool that as part of now Make in India, it's been produced here and sold or exported to 132 countries. Fantastic initiative and an innovation which has been recognized in so many forums now, right? An engineer who realized the power of yoga and to bring that inner engineering, he created an engineering product, an innovation, and combined the ancient wisdom with the modern technology. External engineering is ordinary, inner engineering is extraordinary, a business and a model. And this is now, as an entrepreneurial venture, even got funded. As I said, it's also been recognized by many institutions and organizations, right? So with that as a little extra story, so let me go to another one, which is another shot of inspiration, right? Having sight is ordinary. Having sight is ordinary. Having a vision is extraordinary. So, I personally didn't even know the difference between sight and vision earlier. I used to use it very in a synonym way that, in a sentence, it was fitting fine and conveying the message. But the mindset, what is required for innovation, you need the vision. Every entrepreneurial venture needs vision. Every innovation journey need to have a vision. Every entrepreneurial initiative needs vision. And every leader needs vision, right? In enterprises, definitely they also need vision, and it's hanging as a statement on the wall, but actually it's a very strategic initiative. Many companies know how to use it as a strategic initiative and helps to engage their employees in their innovation journeys, which are aligned to the growth of the organization and which assist them in the path of innovation, right? So having sight is ordinary. Having a vision is extraordinary. As I said, I didn't know the difference between these two earlier, but I paid a very big price to know the difference between sight and vision. In fact, I met with a freak accident and lost both my eyes. I had to go through many, many surgeries, and I was a written off case. But then this is a bonus life, right? So, then I realized, man, when I got my sight and later, one of the days I was meeting William Miller, and that day I had this aha moment or a jolt that, what I had lost was sight and what I had gained was vision. So I started to wonder, and William Miller, who's among the top 30 thought leaders in the world, and he started Stanford Research Institute's innovation program. We've worked together on many initiatives. So that day he was asking, do you know the difference between sight and vision? And when I said, I lost sight to gain vision. So then I realized sight is something which is definite in shape, size, color, distance at any given point in time. And vision has no boundaries. It can see out there into somebody else's heart or mind or even the other planet. right? So without having to go there. So in fact, what a wonderful vision that when I had an interaction with Mr. Kiran Kumar, who used to be the chairman for ISRO, and he was the man behind Mission to Mars. What a vision that they had created, which got them to innovate. And a lot of frugalness has also been introduced in the large vision, the frugal thinking, the mindset, innovation mindset. I don't know how many of you have watched this movie on, that mission to Mars, that movie which had come. Akshay Kumar and Vidya Balan and many of them had acted. Had any of you watched? And can you relate to one frugal thinking idea that they got? The idea that they got on how to increase the longevity and use the fuel very efficiently. So where did she get that idea from? Vidya Balan had, yeah, Mission Mangal, that's right. It's the name of the movie. And Vidya Balan, anybody watched that movie? If you have watched, say I. What was an inspiration? A quick question or a quiz, okay? Based on this movie, that since some of you have watched, when they were wondering how do they stretch their, the rocket, the distance that it needs to travel, and they were struggling because their existing rockets, no way that it would take them there. So what was that mindset, innovation mindset, which they had to develop, and an incident that inspired Vidya Balan to rush back to office to say, I've got an idea, and in this method we can increase. What was she doing, and where did she get that idea from? The source of inspiration.
Good morning, sir. Excuse me.
Very good morning. Come over. You want to share?
Yes, I want to share that story.
Yeah,
only.
your voice is very feeble. What is your name?
So my name is Sumit Singh.
Sumit. Okay.
So when that in movie, when she was cooking and when she turned off his gas stove, for a few minutes, she was able to that she was making some puri, and it was keep continuing for 3 to 4 minutes. From that idea, from there they got to know that we can use a fuel in that way, at some orbital space. From there, at certain time when we will use, it can automatically reflect to that position.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Very good, Sumit. And I see Lata Shri had also put that point earlier in the chat box, saying, in kitchen during preparing puris, right? So how that technique of using that energy, which was the heat, which was already there in the oil, and without having to burn more fuel, that is the fire. So how they could continue and use the momentum of kinetic energy and to cover more distance, right? So they could intermediately turn off the engines and don't burn the fuel, and with the same amount of fuel they are able to cover a lot more distance, right? Fantastic, the mindset, the vision. And when I had this opportunity of interacting with him and learning, this was much before this movie came, and he was still the chairman then. And I wanted to quote him in this book, wanted him to write a blurb for this book, and so graciously he accepted and did. What a man! What a vision that they had, and the team to support that vision to become a reality, right? So that's what innovation is all about. So let me tell you one story, okay? And one story of Anga and Manga. So these are two good friends. And these two guys were coming from a village to the city, and they wanted to visit the city for some work and then head back. They didn't have much resources, much money, so they somehow managed to come one way by bus, and while going back, they decided they'll walk back. And after their work, they're heading back. Anga was saying, man, I think it's pretty hot, and maybe before it becomes too hot, we should reach the place, or before it becomes too dark, because they were already in the evening and sunset time, and it was pretty hot also. So they were heading back, and Manga said, yeah, I see juicy cucumbers in the fields right side. Let me go fetch some. Looking yum, we will eat some, quench our thirst, and have some juicy cucumbers. So then, they started thinking that, when Anga said, no, you are not going to get, and first answer a few questions of mine. I have to let you know, Anga is a blind person, and whereas Manga is a sharp-sighted person. Okay, so Manga said, "What are you crazy or what? Let me go get it, and we will just eat." He said, "No, hold on." So yes, what are the questions? He said, "Hey, are there many cucumbers or just one or two of them?" He said, "A lot of them." He said, "One more question: are there the cucumbers that are there, are they fenced and well organized, or is it wild?" He said, "It's wild. Nobody's there. Nobody's watching. Don't worry. Let me go fetch. You're asking too many questions." He says, no, hold on. And he asks one more question. And then he tells, no, nobody is manning here. So then he said, "We are not eating." Manga was crazy. "Are you like going crazy?" And he started shouting at his friend who can't see. He said, "You should be crazy, not able to see, and I can see that such juicy cucumbers, and you're saying, no, we are not eating." And he forced, but Anga was very clear, and they moved ahead without eating. Later, they learn from somewhere, some sources, that these cucumbers were poisonous. How do you think Manga, who could see very well, sharp-sighted, could see only the cucumbers, which he felt was juicy and nice, whereas Anga, who didn't have the eyes, but was able to determine that this poison, this cucumbers are not edible? What do you think could have been the reason, and how do you think Anga was able to identify that? Any thoughts? Both young and energetic boys, one with eyes sharp-sighted, the other can't see. How did he see? How did he see the poison inside? Your thoughts? Anybody who wants to share, go ahead, put in your thoughts. How do you think he did? Or you want to come onto the screen and speak? Welcome. Wow, Mauna, amazing. He could see through the inner eye. Fantastic. And what is the mindset? A little extra mindset that he had, that he could determine. Was there a science behind it? Definitely he could see from the inner eye. Is there a science behind it? Wow, morning stories. Is it putting you to sleep or um, or getting you to think? So if it is okay, they were juicy and not guarded. He felt fishy. Very good, Pawan. So there was a data there. Okay, he had a data point, right? What else? Whereas one could see very well, saw what was obvious, and the one who could not see, nobody has eaten means something wrong. Okay, fantastic. So he could connect the dots. He could, ask those questions. Through the questions, he was collecting data, right? Whereas somebody who could just see took it at face value. Here that vision that he had, so-called vision, was actually also enabled through some mindset. It was the techniques which was there behind. How he was able to. Every entrepreneur need to connect the dots, and the innovation journey, connecting the dots is one of the most important skill set, and you need to have that mindset, right? So it begins with that mindset. And only then you will be able to do that. Otherwise, we take it at face value, won't challenge the status quo, then just go and eat, and even just be part of the society. Then where's innovation? What's that newness? How do we do it differently? What can be created something new or different, or make something better, right? So you need vision. You need that mindset of able to connect the dots. You need to have the mindset of asking questions. You need to have that mindset of wanting to make a difference, right? So good. And well, let me ask you, how many of you did you like the story? Say I, if you like the story. And the number of eyes that I get to see is also going to determine, now I'm connecting the dots, is also going to determine that how many of you are here, how many of you are able to listen, and so go ahead, type in. How many of you enjoyed, Mission Mangal, the innovation, the frugal innovation, the mindset which was there and which I shared with you, right? Say I. Good. I'm seeing several double eyes coming. Say triple I if you are inspired about these examples of, be it Mission Mangal or the concept of vision, or from the story of Anga and Manga, and if you are inspired and wanting to do something, right? So getting some ideas and so on. So say I. Fantastic. I see many of you. Do any of you want to come and share the insight that you got out of these stories? Anybody wants to be a little extra? Come on. Divya, Prasanna, Sunidhi, anyone? Chandan, what idea or what insight did you? Come on, guys, be a little extra. It's fun time. Innovation mindset needs to be, filled with energy, enthusiasm, and wanting to share attitude. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Who is this?
Sumit only.
Samira.
Sumit.
Sumit. Okay. Sumit. The
So
second time, Sumit.
So I think each and every problem around us or whatever maybe. So the solution to it is in front of us only. Just we have to think in some in proper way, or in we should use a common sense.
Okay. Very good. So some insights that you got is one, you need to use common sense and identify the problem, understand the problem very well. Fantastic point, Sumit. Can you switch on your video so that we can also see you?
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Yeah. And what else did you get out of these stories? And meanwhile, if others, do you want to hear more stories, or you're already asleep? So if you want to hear more stories, say I. Else I can end it quickly. You want to say I if you want to hear more stories, and a little extra mindset for innovation for the youngsters, right? Okay.
Guys, sorry, Naveen sir, I am interrupting in between, but I think our students need to be more vocal, because I think this is a platform which they will hardly get at any point of time. Guys, trust me, like Naveen sir is one of the most uh, renowned speakers, I would say, from the startup industry, and it is very difficult to get him on board, and we have somehow managed to get him on board, and he has been giving wonderful innovative ideas and innovative thoughts through a very innovative method as such, by storytelling. It's not easy. So please try to interact with him, please try to be vocal. This is one of the very unique opportunities you have got. Sorry sir, I just interrupted in between.
Yeah, thank you. And what's your good name?
I am
Couldn't
Ranjan,
see you.
and I am here as Dean of Industry Interaction and Alumni Relations.
Fantastic. Thank you for your little extra.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So here I go with one more shot of inspiration and the little extra mindset, right, for innovation. So working hard is ordinary. Working hard is ordinary. Working smart is extraordinary. No questions. We need to work hard, right? So without that, there's no results. But if we can be a little extra, then innovation mindset is all about what is that little extra, how to make it smarter. So that little extra making hard work smart, right? So let me give you an example of one of the entrepreneur. Actually he was working in Bangalore, and then he came from Kerala, and he used to work. He's an engineer by profession again. So he was while he was working in the software industry, and then he came across one of the news that two of people who were laborers, who were cleaning the sewage, that manhole getting in, and they died because of the problems that it has. And it's like scavengers, right? It's very, very difficult, and make uh, not easy medically also, and the problems that it would come with. But unfortunately, somebody has to be doing it, and when they were doing, they died. And then they looked at, in 2 years, all over India, close to 1,200 people had died because of this kind of work, where they have to go clean the sewage and remove the dirt and so on. So they said, no, something needs to be done. They chose to innovate, and they identified this as a problem that is worth solving. And then they said, let us create a robot where so much in such a way that it will go clean where man can't go. One side where man can't go, they wanted to send the machine to the Mars, but the other side, you know, the other side is like, how do you really send a machine, and not necessarily to the Mars, but into the manhole to clear the sewage, right? So they created a robot, and the government also recognized their innovation. They were, and students, they enrolled students, and they were able to, they were just out of college. And now that they went on to make a prototype, 6 months it took for the friends to get together and create this robot to create the sewage, clean that, right? And it did a great job, saving many lives now. And many orders started coming in. It costed them 3 to 5 lakh rupees to create one, right? And now they're producing many. It is finding new use cases. It was a very hard work for these people, the labor, to really go into the dirt and cleaning these, right? Exposing themselves for many diseases, but they were helpless. They needed money, and they didn't want it to beg, rather do the work, and somebody has to do, otherwise everybody else will suffer. Now the machines are able to, robotics technology being used very well and very smartly, they're able to clean these. And now many states, even foreign companies, and the collaborations came forward. They said there's enough problem and need in India itself that we want to really help, and then they're doing it. Any guess on what is the name of this company or the robot that they created? Youngsters like you, they created this. And Bharat Petroleum, I think, was one of those, early identification of their innovation and the mindset that the entrepreneurs were having, and they invested. It got incubated out of support of Bharat Petroleum. Interesting, right? Anybody feel that this is an interesting? Yes, good, Pawan. It's called Bandicoots, and so that's how they started, and then made it a company. So it became an entrepreneurial venture now. Also funded. Initially, they were wondering, where do they get money from? They struggled and all that. Now they say money is flowing from different sources. And even maybe CSRs are coming forward, corporate social responsibility, to help such people who, well, the work is very required, but they can't, engage and lose lives for these, right? So, and the mindset. Anybody getting some new ideas? Say I, if you're getting some new ideas. Inspired of the story, say I. Do you believe that you can be innovative and can solve some problems smartly? Well, hard work is there, you'll have to, there's no option. Can you be innovative? And that is the smartness. That's the mindset, a little extra mindset that you can develop. So, triple I, say I. If you are inspired and wanting to do something, and and you believe that you can make a difference, right? If you believe that you can make a difference, say I. You just have to create that little extra innovative mindset. I'm sure you will be able to. All the very best, okay, for those who want to really make that happen, right? So acquiring knowledge is ordinary. Applying knowledge multiple times in multiple ways is extraordinary. So this guy Pawan looks like has a vision, okay? Because that's the next shot of inspiration and the mindset, a little extra mindset that I'm about to talk is acquiring knowledge is ordinary. Applying knowledge in multiple ways, multiple times, is extraordinary. So let me tell, obviously, when you are studying as students and all, no, you'll have to learn and you'll have to acquire knowledge. While acquisition of knowledge is essential, the mindset for innovation is all about the application, applying that knowledge. And entrepreneurs mindset is using it multiple times in multiple ways, as many times. And that is where in application of knowledge is where you have results, right? So that's how you need to build that innovation mindset, a little extra mindset for that innovation. And let me tell you a story of again a young student in college. He was studying in BIT, and he came from a family business, and they were into farming, and they used to supply bananas. Okay, so when he was studying in college and doing electronics and communication engineering, it was a tough subject and difficult to get that seat. And many friends were saying, you should be crazy. Why are you working so hard and struggling for studies and all? You should have been chilling out, man. Anyway, you don't need a job after this. And on the other hand, some people said you're acquiring knowledge probably not relevant to your field. You should have gone into agriculture. Why are you studying electronics and communications? So, but he went on. He said, maybe he was a little concerned and worried. But on the other hand, he said, let me see what I can do. Anyway, he was in the engineering. He completed his engineering. And the bananas were calling. So he had to get into his family business. But family business was already well set. He started thinking, how does he add value? What can he do? Something new. Can he be innovative? And what will he do with all the education that he has had? He realized that his education here is not of much use directly. He had to learn new things. He started acquiring new knowledge. He started to understand about farming. He started to learn about farmers and their pain points, the problems. And then he started to learn, how it is supplied, the process. And then he realized one day, especially when their company was called by this supermarkets, and supermarket culture was just getting established in India, and bananas being one of the staple food for every occasion, every religion, every region, it's been appreciated. It's one of the most friendliest fruit. Many even have just that as their meal because they can't afford more than that, right? So that's the power of banana that the market taught. And he realized, he was so happy that he's in the banana business. But then this supermarket said, it's very hard for us to sell because the shelf life is very short. And then, we have a problem of how it looks in the display, and it should be pleasing and people should feel like buying, because it's a culture of showcasing also when it comes to supermarket, as against going to the mandi market or street side and just picking some bananas, right? So it matters. He came back, he started thinking, then he realized supermarkets are already established in the Western countries. It's new in India. But what can I do? What can I learn? How do I acquire new knowledge? He started to figuring it out. And internet was very, very new in India. So he got some information, then got to know that, there's a very innovative product or a chamber, a European company had manufactured and been used in many farms for ripening bananas. And when he understood and learned, he realized that the ripening process was exactly opposite to what it is done here, which was not for the supermarkets, but then the process was there. It was a cold chamber, and with the gases that they were able to ripen it. And here we used a heating process, lighting up stoves, and with the carbon dioxide, removing the gases and